What is up, YouTube? AVI back with another video. Today we're going to be bringing you guys another car review, a 2024 Volkswagen Jetta S. We're going to be walking you guys around the car, showing you guys a couple of quick noteworthy things. At the end of the video, we're going to be giving you our final thoughts on it. This is a buy. Appreciate you guys supporting us, and let's get to the video. All right, let's start under the hood of this 2024 Jetta, as we normally do in our AVI car reviews. The first thing to note is this, from the base trim, does come with a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, producing 158 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with either a 6-speed manual, which is standard on this trim, the S trim. However, we did option for the 8-speed auto, which is standard on the next two highest trims, and more on trims later. Another thing to note is that the Jetta does come with a sportier variant of it, the GLI, which has another turbocharged engine, but that one is a 2-liter turbo, producing 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. So there is that option to get a little bit more sportier and a little bit more peppier engine if you're looking for performance. All right, let's talk trims on this Jetta. We mentioned it a little bit, but this Jetta does get a couple of trims. The S, which is this model here, the Sport, the SEL, and the SE, SEL being the top trim. They all have that same 1.5-liter turbocharged engine that we talked about, but there are a couple of differences on the exterior. First, this S trim, you get standard LED headlights and taillights, those 16-inch wheels, so a little bit smaller wheels, cloth seats inside, and a smaller touchscreen, 6.5-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with a USB cord, so not wireless. With the S trim, which is slightly more expensive, you get a sportier design cues, black mirrors, caps, rear spoiler, black grille, 1-inch bigger tire, 17-inch black alloys, with a cross differential system, XDS system, which improves your handling. And if you option up to the two highest trims, you get leather upholstery, dual climate zones, keyless entry, push to start, and a larger 8-inch touchscreen on most builds. You also potentially could get a wireless charging pad and a premium audio system if you option for that SE and SEL trims. Starting MSRP for the S trim, which is the one we have here, is actually a very reasonable $22,660 from the factory new in 2024. So honestly, not too bad. All right, let's talk competition in the sedan entry-level market. We have obviously the Carolla, the Civic, and the Nissan Sentra. Those are, I think, the three big heavy hitters there. And we actually have reviews on a lot of those cars. But what I want to focus on with this Jetta is actually surprised me is I feel like some of the things that you're touching and feeling on an everyday basis are going to be better on this car than those. So let's get into those features that I actually think are improved on this compared to those. Let's talk gas mileage because it is an important topic, especially in this segment. The Jetta actually gets really good gas mileage. We were averaging 47 miles per gallon. We were actually all highway primarily, so that is a little bit skewed. It's EPA 8 rated, 30 miles per gallon in the city, 42 on the highway, which is actually really good. And the reason it's so noteworthy is the Jetta does not come in a hybrid option. And the two main competitors we talked about, the Elantra and the Carolla, both do come with a hybrid option. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal because, like we said, we were getting 47 miles per gallon, almost 48 on the highway, and even 30 in the city. It's actually pretty good, pretty close to hybrid numbers. So I think gas mileage is pretty good on this. I wouldn't look to the other competitors for that. The first thing I noticed when I got inside the Jetta is actually, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, the build quality in terms of the door. It feels much heavier and much more solid than the Carolla and Sentra that we have. And that's not only just build quality on the outside. We're also going to show you a couple of build quality improvements on the inside that we noticed while driving. The next thing I noticed about build quality is honestly the steering wheel being leather wrapped feels really nice. I feel like Volkswagen really focused on the things that the driver is touching on a constant basis, which I actually really like. This feels much more luxurious than the Carolla and Sentra that we've tested in the past. And honestly, like the turn signal stalks just feel much more solid, as well as your wiper controls and your spray to clean off your windshield wipers. Everything feels much more luxurious in this Jetta than some of the other competitors. However, the screen, which we're going to get to in a little bit, lacks behind the others. One benefit to the Jetta that we haven't mentioned yet is the fully digital dash here, which actually looks really nice. It shows you the average miles per gallon, the cruise control, your speed, your average range, all of that stuff really easy to see and very clear with that fully digital gauge. I don't believe the Carolla has a fully digital display. in 2024 from a base model, so I think that's a really big positive. However, the rest of the interior we mentioned before, it's pretty plain Jane in here. I mean, a lot of plastic, but like we talked about, everything that you're physically touching, like even this is wrapped in leather, feels really high quality. Although it's a smaller screen than some of the competitors, it does come with Apple CarPlay. Everything you need is right there facing the driver. It's actually a really nice place to be. We talked about the cloth interior. Not a huge issue for me. I actually like cloth. I think in the winters and summers, it's actually more comfortable than leather. Doesn't get too hot or cold. But everything else is pretty plain Jane. Lots of plastic, but nothing to complain or really write home about. Another big selling point on this Jetta, even on the S trim, is the amount of safety assistance features to the driver. So you can see we have cruise control. This is actually adaptive cruise control. But one of the things that comes standard on all Jetta models, including this S trim, is Volkswagen IQ Drive Suite. That includes forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, traffic alerts, adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, all of that stuff comes standard on this S trim for, like we said, 20-something thousand dollars, low 20s. You get all those driving features. I will say lane keep assist was kind of a pain while driving. You know, even when I was trying to change lanes, it would try to correct me into the other lane. So that was a little bit of a pain. Actually, one thing I'm noticing now, with the turn signal stock, there is a button on the end of it for lane keep assist. I was constantly pressing that when trying to change lanes. So something I would do complain about, not something that I wouldn't buy the car over, but just something to note. All right, let's give you guys the final thoughts on the 2024 Volkswagen Jetta S in particular. We've had this thing for a couple of days, and honestly, I can't believe I'm going to say it. I actually kind of like it. The interior, like we talked about, the leather-wrapped steering wheel, the stock's feeling actually pretty good, feeling high quality. And it's something different. With that turbocharged engine, it's pretty fast, definitely faster than the others that we mentioned in this segment. Good gas mileage, relatively cheap, and pretty luxurious inside with Apple CarPlay. I actually kind of liked it better than I was expecting. I will say, if I were to buy this, I would still buy the Toyota Corolla before this, just because Toyota reliability, as we all know, is so ahead of the others in terms of reliability. So I think if you're looking for something different, a little more sporty looking, a little faster than a Corolla for about the same price point, this might be worth a check. Just for a little bit more luxurious feel. Appreciate you guys supporting us. Leave your likes and comments down below, and just like that, AVI out.